So the discussion was around ski hosting and ski instructing and the problems that the ski industry in Britain has faced in the market, particularly in France, from a ski hosting perspective, the differences between ski hosting and ski instruction, and the impact that and other similar issues with protectionism in European resorts might have on the British market.
So we looked at the current legal situation in France, which kind of dominated the situation with regard to working within Europe, with regard certainly to the ski club issues that we have just now with our ski club leader being prosecuted there, and the case coming up, and also the question of qualifications and necessary qualifications for ski instructors in France and across Europe.
The general feeling was that ski hosting is very valuable in its own right, separate from ski instruction, and everyone was agreed that it has its place in the market. Trying to convince some of the European resorts that that's the case is an uphill struggle, but trying to take a positive viewpoint on it rather than the sort of collaborative negative infighting is going to yield overall better results. And in fact, the fact that it's taken something as negative as this to pull a lot of the tour operators together is a sign that perhaps we should be pulling together more in the future.
I picked up there was some disappointment certainly that we've got to this stage, and that really there's a lot more that we can be doing as an industry to work together to make it better for the public in general, and to ensure that we're offering a welcoming service for British skiers going out to France.
I think it's very tough. I think the Swiss minimum wage, from a Swiss point of view, I think is actually relatively fair. The cost of living in Switzerland is a lot higher than in the UK, and so the Swiss perceive that the UK tour operators have been undercutting them for quite some time, and I think they've just seen, it's about time for that to stop, and they are quite honestly concerned for the welfare of the staff that live and work in their resorts. From a ski school perspective, it has less of an impact because we don't have the longer contracts to which the Swiss minimum wage currently applies. Of course, we don't know if that's going to change at some point, but for the time being, I think it is a shame. I think we are going to lose, especially in Zermatt, a lot of expertise that the English tour operators were able to bring to the resort, let alone the resorts, the kind of tourists that will come with a tour operator, the kind of packages that they want and the looking after that they need from those sort of tour operators, they'll struggle to find when they come on an independent holiday themselves. So I think we're going to lose out. I think the Swiss resorts, and Zermatt particularly, will be losing out to the fact that the British tour operator market isn't there. The ski schools themselves, I don't think, are going to feel a huge amount of the impact. We'd like to think that the resort will still be relatively full, but I think it's a sign that the markets are slowly changing, and we have to keep adapting and innovating in order to cope with the changes.
Well, it's difficult to say. I think what we identified today was that some of the actions that have taken place in France of recent time are not having a fantastic effect, particularly with some of the ski schools in France. I mean, we've had a number of ski schools there saying that following the banning of ski hosting by the tour operators, that they've not seen any noticeable increase in their business. So I think that's quite indicative that the action that's taking place at the moment isn't actually a great thing for France or for the industry. We have also seen that the level of engagement from British skiers going out to France is falling, and they've lost some market share over recent times, and I think that was identified in the discussion today as being an area for concern.